Big weekend in downtown Baton Rouge, and well, it's a lot going on in downtown Baton Rouge. So every so often, I like to check in with Whitney Hoffman Sayal. She heads up the downtown development district. How are you? How have you been?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing very well. The last time I saw you briefly at the celebrity bowling
Yes,
right before bowling
yes,
got
we
underway.
bowled together.
Yes. So how'd you do?
I never got below 100, so I was
I hate
excited
you.
about that.
Okay. 174 in my first game,
You did good. I kept looking down
and then
there.
an 88 and an 86.
Oh,
Yeah, you
well.
you looked over in the first game. I was rocking it, but like my stamina dropped off quickly.
Well,
Yeah, yeah,
just count the first one.
yeah. That's what I like to brag on. Well, no, I got to be honest about it. I could do better. Speaking of which, though, the bowling's been going on since.
Yes.
How's response been?
I mean, it's great. We love having the bowlers in town.
Mm-hmm.
We have about 60,000 that come in this 3 to 4 month period.
Right.
The restaurants are packed. There's people on the streets. There's stuff for them to do with Blues Fest and Live After Five starting. All of those things happening. So downtown is popping.
As it should be, and yeah, this is going to be. That's the thing about the bowling is it's all summer long. Like it's over the course of 5 months. So there's never going to be a time where it's like everybody's jammed up at once.
Right.
But it's this continual uptick, this prolonged plateau, if you will.
Exactly.
You mentioned Live After Five gets started this afternoon. Live After Five also kicks off the Baton Rouge Blues Fest. Talk to me a little bit about what we can expect from this year's Blues Fest.
Well, you can expect what you've grown to love over the past few years, I think.
Mhm.
We've got some really good headliners. Over 30 bands I counted. So I mean, that's a lot. And I enjoy music. I can't pretend to know all of the names, but tonight we kick off with Jonathan Boogie Long,
Yep.
and Hannah PK and Jovan Webb, but we've got Kenny Neal, all kinds of different artists coming out. It's going to be phenomenal.
See, I don't pretend to know. I know Kenny Neal.
Right.
Like that's really all you need to know. That dude puts on a show.
He does.
He's
why he sticks in my mind.
unbelievable. As the headliner, he's unbelievable when he plays Live After Five as well.
Yes.
And so is Jonathan Boogie Long, for that matter. That being said, though, looking at the forecast for late tomorrow and then early Sunday,
Yeah, we've all been glued to our weather app for sure,
bit,
right?
little bit.
But I will say that there are contingency plans in place,
Okay.
right? So it's not going to be a flat out cancellation. I would say the best thing to do is stay on our website, our social media, or the Blues Fest website and social media, and we'll be making those announcements of how things are getting moved around shortly. But yeah, we have contingency plans in place.
We've got Whitney Hoffman Sayal with us from the Downtown Development District, talking about downtown overall. But I want to stick with one more about the concerts here, about Live After Five, because kicks off this week. Mayor President Sid Edwards made sure, and they got sponsors for it and whatnot. They were looking at scaling it back, but instead it will be the full 6 concert series. How important is that for downtown to have? I mean, it's always a great crowd. It's always a good time. Even the fall series when it starts off hot, but I mean, it's always time. How important is it for downtown to maintain things like that?
It's very important, right? So the more people you have downtown, the more that they're going into the businesses, the more that they're enjoying our downtown space and each other. And I think it's not just about being good for downtown; it's good for our community.
Yeah.
It's one thing that I love about Live After Five. If you look around, it's such a diverse crowd of different ages, different cultures, all hanging out, having a good time, enjoying music. It's free. It's just a great community event.
And you talk about the diversity. The diversity of the crowd is matched by the diversity of the lineup.
Yes.
Because it's a different type of music every single time out. You got, like we said, Jonathan Boogie Long today. Next Friday is a band called Pocket Chocolate.
Yeah. It sounds good.
New Orleans-based funk, blues, and soul, featuring Zach Edwards and The Medicine. So next week is Pocket Chocolate. The week after that will be Fat Hat. I believe that's the week I'm emceeing. Friday, May 2nd will be Six String Soldiers featuring David St. Remain. You don't want to miss that one. Friday, May 9th, the Mixed Nuts. You ever seen the Mixed Nuts?
They're fun.
They are high energy.
They are.
They are. Once they start, they don't. It's like you
don't
get
that you watching them.
Yes, yes, absolutely. And then it'll wrap up with the Michael Foster Project, which is an absolute staple of the series.
Yes.
Michael Foster Project probably is there. I don't want to say every series, but once a year. So,
yeah. That's accurate, I think. And then the only Friday that will be skipping is Good Friday.
Of course. let's talk downtown overall. Let's talk master plan overall, Plan BR3 and the like. What's the latest here?
Oh, I'm super excited. So the contract is moving forward with the consultants that were selected, Sasaki and team.
Mhm.
Sasaki's been involved in a lot of projects all over the world, but Baton Rouge as well. So they're familiar with us, which is great. They got a head start, but we have packaged up all of the inventory, just different GIS layers, all kinds of data stuff for them to be able to understand the true dynamics and landscape of Baton Rouge.
Mhm.
Kind of want to give a shout out to the city GIS department. Man, they have so much data. We something we're very blessed with, and the more data you get, the better your plan's going to be.
Okay, so Sasaki's taking on all the data right there. Are they given a direction that they're supposed to follow, or is it just? I feel like we know where we want downtown to go. Is it? But how do we keep them on the right path?
Yeah, I mean, I think, between the Baton Rouge Area Foundation and, our office as well, we're gonna make sure that we get the best plan we possibly can, just like the previous 2 plans, right?
Hmm.
There is a scope of work, and so there is definitely direction. We know the riverfront's in the mix of that, right?
Right.
Like, we gotta figure out how to, amplify our riverfront. But also, it's really a plan is not as good it's only as good as the public input. So there will be a public meeting, probably several, or at least a few, but one within the next month or so, and to get the public feedback to see what they want. And that is ultimately going to provide the direction of how they move forward.
What they want as far as the riverfront's concerned, or the whole
The
plan?
whole thing,
Yeah.
I think it's good. They'll have different questions to ask. They'll go over what they've learned gathering the inventory with the public and then get some feedback. But we'll also be providing opportunities for additional feedback at periodic times during the plan. But we definitely need the public to come out to say what it is that they want to see.
Whitney Hoffman Sayal's with us, talking about downtown and where the master plan is headed. As far as the riverfront part of the plan is concerned, uh, I hesitate to bring it up, but uh, the term "ought to been alive" came back up again. Now,
Yeah.
this was well before your time. I don't know how much of it you got schooled up on.
I was in Baton Rouge,
Okay,
but it was before I was at the DDD.
yeah. Um, the possibility of something like that coming back up, is that even on the table?
I think so, right? I mean, if you think about, where we would be if that had passed, it
Right.
was very narrowly defeated,
Yes.
right? I think people do want to see things. When we talk about keeping our young professionals in the area versus leaving and going to other cities, we gotta have those major attractions that keep them here,
Hmm.
and I think people know that. I think we also want things to a place to bring our children. We've got some great opportunities in Baton Rouge, but we need more.
The other parts of this, of course, the revamping of the river center and whatnot. Do we need direction on that, or is that just we know where that one's headed?
I think the most important part to keep in mind is that we've been knowing that the River Center needs some sort of transformation,
Mhm.
right? We've been knowing that for years. It's woefully outdated. And so I think there's an opportunity to make sure that whatever is happening with the River Center is aligned with what's happening at the riverfront. If you design or plan either one of those things separately, you're missing an opportunity to make sure. I mean, it's called the River Center.
Right.
So it should be better connected to the riverfront, right? There should be a seamless interaction with somebody who's going to the river center and getting to the riverfront and vice versa.
Keeping it with the riverfront, and I know there's more to downtown than just the riverfront, but keeping it with the riverfront, it's so glaring and noticeable with the USS Kid missing, and now with the
Yeah.
casinos moving on land, our riverfront's gotten really naked really fast. As
Yeah, I mean, there's still a lot to do. We were talking about the 13-mile levee trail, right? So
Yeah.
it starts in downtown Baton Rouge, goes to LaBerge. I think that you're right. There's opportunities for more things, right?
Yes.
I really would like to see a place where you could stop and get coffee and beignets before you hop on your bike and go down this levee trail, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's all kinds of even small interventions that could make a huge difference. The USS Kid is coming back though.
No, I know, I
Uh,
know. So I got the skinny on that is, once they got it out of the water, they found a lot more was wrong with it than they originally thought.
yeah,
And I need to reach back out to get them back on again. But it's going to take a little bit longer than originally
right,
thought, but they want to make sure they do it right,
right.
which is the important part.
But also, let me say, when we talk about the casinos, I'm kinda happy those riverboats are gone, right? I
No,
mean,
yes,
the investment that the casinos have made landside, we're talking over $200
100%.
million combined. That's a
Yes,
lot.
yes, and they're doing it right.
And it's great. I mean, I'm not much of myself a gambler, but you go to, the Queen and enjoy all of the sports screens. I mean,
Yes,
it's almost overwhelming how much
yes.
you can watch at one time.
What they've put into the Queen and the DraftKings casino and the
Yes,
5 restaurants inside, and all that's gonna come to the Bell as well, and
exactly.
the fact that I mean, they're shared ownership, so they're able to partner together and
Not
not give you 2 of the same product. They're
exactly,
giving you 2 completely different products that can
exactly.
collaborate together. It is phenomenal. We got 2 minutes left with, Whitney Hoffman Sayal. Go back to the bike path. You mentioned the 13 miles and a levee.
Yes.
You said you were at a public meeting last night.
Yes, it was at, Breck, so they're doing an update of the bicycle, pedestrian master plan,
Mhm.
getting public feedback for that. We're just really excited about updating it. Downtown, we really prioritize our bicycle and pedestrian paths with the downtown greenway and those sort of things. And just thinking about what is going to be coming over the next 5 years to really connect safely different paths in our parish is really exciting.
The last one before I get you out of here, it is Love the Boot Week. Y'all have an event downtown, just like just like everybody else does right about now. Love the
Yeah.
Boot Week's really taken off, but what's going on here?
We do. So actually our office will be outside. You'll see me cleaning. That's why I'm wearing jeans today. Several departments with the city parish today are spending some time picking up. We'll be downtown at our office and around doing that. But then also tomorrow from 9 to 11, we're hosting another cleanup where we welcome volunteers. So please come out. We'll be meeting at our office, which is 24/7 Florida Street from 9 to 11. Just showing our love for downtown and picking it up.
She is Whitney Hoffman Sayal. We always appreciate the time. Thank you so much.
Thank you.